Hello, everyone, and welcome to BodyBags. I'll be your reviewer for today. I'm Lonnie from Tats, and if you've been following the videos we've been doing this week, we've been reviewing movies from the Kino Lorber / Redemption line, and the one I decided to go with, you already know by the title. Um, well, actually, it's got two titles. This movie is from 1985. It is Clive Barker's Underworld, or AKA Transmutations, and this here just came out on 4K not too long ago, and very happy to pick it up. And this is around the same time, directed by George Pavlou, who also directed Rawhead Rex. And overall, it's a decent movie. I got to be honest, it's just okay. This, in my opinion, like if I'm in the mood for a Clive Barker movie, this is not going to be my go-to. I would, if I'm in the mood for a Clive Barker, I'm gonna go for Hellraiser or Candyman or Nightbreed, Lord of Illusions, Midnight Meat Train, things like that. I'm gonna be more inclined towards this. This one it's not a bad film by any means. It's just like this just isn't gonna be my like, oh, this is the one I really got to watch and stuff. Even though when you watch this movie, you can see elements of in this film. I mean, of course, this was way back, before Clive Barker. This was way before Hellraiser or any of that stuff. This is when he was just barely starting out as a storyteller and a writer and everything. But you could see elements in this movie that would definitely play into later works of his. The story is about a Dr. Savory, played by Denholm Elliott, who, the funny thing is about Denholm Elliott, I've always liked him as an actor. But I have to admit, when I was a kid, the only thing I really knew him from was Indiana Jones. To me, he was Marcus Brody. That's what I always knew him as. And I really liked him in those movies. But then when I started branching out and started watching a lot of the other movies he did over the years, movies that he did with Amicus and, I think he's done some Hammer movies and stuff too. But just seeing him in different films and everything over the years, like, I never really realized like how many bad guys he played. Like, he played a number of villains in movies, and he plays a villain in this one too. So his character Dr. Savory has created this drug that he's been using to experiment on people, and it ends up making these people mutated. They become deformed and everything else, and they can't. Well, it's not that they can't. They don't want to be around regular people, and so they hide under the, basically under the streets of London. They hide in the London Underground and everything else, and but they're not bad people. They're not evil or anything. So so you're sitting there thinking, okay, these people that are not like us, they're deformed. They're not like they're not like average looking people and stuff like this. Okay, so that definitely is gonna give you feelings of Nightbreed, which Barker would do later. But here's the problem: this one girl who's a prostitute named Nicole, she works in this brothel that is run by Ingrid Pitt. So it's nice to see Ingrid Pitt in this movie. Excuse me. So she's working in this brothel. She's getting ready to service a client. Well, these I guess best way to say it is like mutated people. They come in and they abduct her and they take her, to their lair underground and everything else. So they end up getting a detective who, the thing about this girl Nicole is like, it's kind of funny because I guess she gets around because it seems like every man in this story knows who she is, and every man is. This is Nicole here. Well, hang on there. Let's see. That's Nicole there. Okay. But the thing is like every man in this movie seems to know who Nicole is, and every man in this movie seems to be just absolutely head over heels in love with her. So she becomes abducted, and it turns out she's very much the the main squeeze of this gangster, who he hires this. I'm sorry, I forget the character's name. But he's like an adventurer, kind of something of a detective, I guess, which, will definitely, give you flashbacks of Harry D'Amour and Lord of Illusions and things. And so he goes and he hires, this guy here to find her. And so he's going and there is a good portion of the movie that is like a detective story. And like I said, this movie is definitely going to give you flashes of other Clive Barker films. You're definitely going to feel not so much Hellraiser or even Candyman, but you're definitely going to get vibes of, you're going to get vibes of Lord of Illusions, and you're definitely going to get vibes of Nightbreed. So he's looking, and trying to find her. In the meantime, she's underground with these, mutated people, and it turns out that this drug that Savory has been giving them has been, they become addicted to it. And so the thing is, and it turns out Savory is another man who is just absolutely just head over heels, just crazy nuts about her. And so the idea is to use his love for her to get what they want, which is they want him to, make more of this drugs to keep, to feed their addiction. And so, so now it's all about her lover, trying to find her and, and everything. And so trying to get a hold of Savory and trying to get him to do what these people want. And it's kind of like all of it coming together. And I think that's probably about where I'm going to leave it in terms of, what the story's about. You know how we do here at BodyBags. We don't like to try to give away too much. I will say, watching the commentary on here and some of the bonus features. Okay, it turns out, George Pavlou made this movie, and he, after he did this one, he did Rawhead Rex, and and to me, I had to say it, but Rawhead Rex, that's another Clive Barker movie I would go to before this one, because Rawhead Rex is the first Clive Barker movie I've ever seen. And, I know people poo-poo on Rawhead Rex, but that was the thing. I remember, like, way back in the day when that movie was, just, like, Fangoria was covering it like there was no tomorrow. I mean, my God, like, there were issue upon issue upon issue that was just really covering Rawhead Rex. And I remember, like, watching it, and that was the thing. I mean, I hadn't read any of Clive Barker's work at this point. Okay, this was new to me. I didn't know who he was or any of that kind of stuff. But I did watch the movie, and personally, I liked it. And so, it's like, okay, Clive Barker. I've heard of the name and everything. Okay, this guy writes books and everything else. So I want to start, checking out his books. And so, Rawhead Rex turned me into a Clive Barker fan. It's like, okay, now I want to start reading his books. Oh, he's got another movie, Hellraiser. I want to see that, and on and on and on. And now, to this day, I really enjoy Clive Barker. I'm a big Clive Barker fan. I love his books. I love his movies, things like this. So, so yeah. But anyways, like I said, yeah. This one here, if you watch the audio commentary, or you listen to you can't watch the commentary. You watch the movie with the commentary on it. You listen to the commentary. George Pavlou said that, he, to this day, he still very much appreciates and respects Clive Barker as a writer and an artist. And even though Clive Barker has come out and said he was not happy with the way this movie and Rawhead Rex turned out. I can understand. Sorry, I'm really sorry. My allergies are kicking my butt today. But anyway, so yeah. So anyway, so listening to the commentary on here, I can understand. Maybe not so much on Rawhead Rex, but I can understand on this one why they changed it so much and everything else. And it's like, well, I kind of got to go on their side, as opposed to like going on Clive Barker's side, because they explain that actually the original script that Clive Barker wrote in the story, Nicole, was actually an underage prostitute. And it turned out that the guy who goes to find her he's not like a detective, he's not an adventurer. It turns out what he is, he's her pimp. And so this guy who is her pimp, he's prostituting her out. Plus he's, in this relationship with this underage girl. And so like he's got these other underage girls. So he wants to go and find her and everything to get her back and to get back his love and everything else. And so you're sitting there kind of like, Okay, yeah, I mean, that's going to be really hard to try to get an audience to kind of sympathize with something like that. So they did do some rewriting work on Barker's script and took out the whole underage girl thing and made her, made her legal age and everything else. And, and took out the whole like pimp element. And well, that was like another thing too. They're like, it's really impossible to try to make a pimp. Uh, it's really impossible trying to make a pimp a very likable and relatable character. So they did some changes to it and stuff. And even though Barker wasn't really happy with it, when I heard that, I was kind of like, yeah, I gotta be honest. Yeah, they did kind of make the right decision here by switching some of that up. But overall, I still say, if you haven't seen this movie, I would definitely say get it and check it out. It is worth it, especially if you want to see kind of like, you know, Clive Barker's humble beginnings and stuff like that, and see, like, where he was then to, see how he's advanced over the years, what he is now, and everything. So I would definitely say, yeah, I mean, this is still, like I said, it's not my all-time favorite Clive Barker movie, but I'm still really happy to have it, and it's a wonderful addition to my Clive Barker film library. And that's the thing, like this is a movie I think for the longest time I'm not even. I think this was a movie that mostly just kind of just stayed on VHS for the longest time, and there might have been DVDs. I'm not entirely sure, but and now that's the thing because we're doing talking about these releases. We're talking about Kino and Kino and Redemption. That's one thing I gotta say. Like this is kind of cool. This is from their new Kino cult line, and this is number 5 in their cult line, and they're doing a lot of really good work. And one thing I gotta say about Kino, I do appreciate a lot of their stuff. Even though for a while back there, like I was determined, I really wanted to collect the entire Redemption line. I wanted to get everything they had, and but starting to realize like I should have jumped on that a lot sooner, which I didn't. And titles were going out of print and everything else, and it was getting harder and harder. However, now one thing that is making me happy is to see that now these are getting re-released on. You go through a lot of the Redemption titles, especially the work of Jean Roland. Now a lot of this stuff is getting re-released on by Indicator, which is a division of Arrow. But but still, that being said, man, oh man, like Kino, they are just kicking butt and taking names. I mean, they're going out, they're trying to get all kinds of, they're doing their best to get you all kinds of movies and everything else. One thing that is kind of a pain in the butt though is a lot of times their releases will get pushed back, and it's like, oh god, gotta wait for this, gotta wait for. But at the same time, a lot of it has to do with quality control. They're going to they want to make sure if they give you a product, they want to give you the best one that they can, which that's admirable. But I mean, that's the thing. I mean, they are unstoppable. Kino is unstoppable at trying to get all these movies out, and they're, my God, I mean, it seems like they got deals with pretty much every studio there is. You see them putting out Paramount titles, Warner Brother, Universal, Criterion. Man, they're managing to get all kinds of stuff away from the Criterion line. Movies like 12 Angry Men or Night of the Hunter and on and on. Like getting stuff away from them and putting it out. So Kino is definitely, and their stuff is really good. It's good quality. Excuse me. Like the other day, I just got the Monster Squad on 4K. And it's like, man, that thing is, it looks really good on 4K. It's packed with features. They even include, Blu-ray with the documentary Wolfman's Got Nars. So, I mean, they really do try to give you everything that you could want in the release. And, like a lot of their stuff, just, like their 4K of Needful Things was amazing. I will admit there are times like, they did, like The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. That one bothered me because the 4K on that was just the theatrical cut where I wanted the 3-hour version, with the extra footage added in and stuff. So we didn't get that, but for the most part, and like a lot of the TV movies and miniseries they've been putting out, I mean, holy cow, man! Thanks to them, we got all 3 seasons of Night Gallery on Blu-ray. We got Kolchak the Night Stalker on Blu-ray and everything else. So yeah, Kino is definitely one of my favorites. I know I don't jump on everything they do. And the biggest problem that I have, it seems like, especially if you pre-order on Amazon, it seems like it's irritating because, like, usually come day of release, it never ships. Most of the time it doesn't. But at the same time, I have the same problem with Indicator. So it's like, like, okay, this is day of release. It's very rare that you actually get the release on the day of, or get the movie that you order on the day of release. And a lot of times it ends up being back order. As a matter of fact, I just put in a pre-order for the Blu-ray for Death Machine with Brad Dourif. And I just, it was a day or two ago, I got an email saying, that's been pushed back and everything. So that's my biggest complaint with them, is just that, their stuff is reasonably priced and everything. It's just, that's the only thing that just bugs me to death. It's just, like, always, like, it just seems like it's very, very rare you can actually pre-order something and get it the day it comes out, the day you're supposed to get it. But other than that, just their quality is good, and my God, they are just, they're probably the biggest, like, just most killing it in, physical media, movies, and they're just, they always got stuff coming, always, and they're digging up all kinds of, movies from all kinds of genres, all kinds of, they're putting out box sets of film noir films, classics, westerns, sci-fi, television, you name it. They're trying to get it. And yeah, so I definitely appreciate Kino and the work that they've done. And I still got other ones from them I want to get, and I plan to keep buying from them in the future. I already know I will. So anyway, that's it. And yeah, Underworld, like I said, not the best Clive Barker movie, but still worth a watch. So anyway, so that's going to do it. So anyone took the time to watch this, I thank you for doing it. I appreciate you for doing it. I also hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, could you please leave it a like? And if you haven't already, please go and subscribe to the BodyBags channel. We have a different reviewer, one for every day of the week. I'm the Friday reviewer. And lots more this year. This month is my theme week, and we're going to do Ghost Hunting Gone Wrong. And going to talk more about that when that week comes. But in the meantime, that's it, everybody. Have a good night, and I'll see you all later.